All right, let's get in the Wayback Machine real quick before we start off the podcast. Back in the day, a couple years ago, I came on this podcast kind of when it started, kind of when I was getting in the groove of Detroit Lions and getting into Detroit sports and wanting to put myself out there. And I remember distinctly saying, Robert Saleh's job to lose. I remember thinking to myself, I want Saleh as our head coach. I want Robert Saleh as our head coach. And obviously we didn't do that, right? We took Dan Campbell, a tight end coach. And now, when I look at it, I'm looking at the New York Jets, who's been a joke forever, now being 5-2, and now Dan Campbell and the Lions are going to get another top 10 pick. That's all I'm saying, all right? This is going to be a fun podcast. Welcome back to another Detroit Pierce podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Today, if you like and subscribe, it's 100% off to like and subscribe on YouTube. If you are listening on your podcast, it is also 100% off when you like and subscribe. So make sure you go and do that. Got a lot to talk about. Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, European Minute, NFL, NCAA football, MLB Playoffs, and final thoughts. So let's just get into it, all right? We've all been waiting for it. I've got my Lions t-shirt on underneath this. Let's talk about the Lions. Okay, so if I sat here and I told you that the Lions defense looked good, and that's all I said. I'm not talking about how many points they're giving up, how many turnovers they got. I just said, hey, me to you, they look good. Because they did. You would say, we're going into Dallas and we're winning. Psych. This offense without St. Brown and Swift looks lost. The offensive line looks great. Some skill positions look great. Hockenson looks great. But without St. Brown and Swift, this offense looks terrible. 5 turnovers. What was the tweet? 3 turnovers in 25 snaps. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to think. That's not how I am. But I'm just going to tell you that the defense looks good. The special teams looks good. The offensive line looks good. We have weapons at wide receiver. We have weapons at tight end. A top 10 tight end. And we've got one of the best running backs back there. Granted, he wasn't in there today. I'm going to let you fill in the lines about where the problem is. Everybody likes our play caller. I'll let you tell me what the problem is. I'll let you tell me how we got those 5 turnovers. I'll let you tell me what the problem with the Detroit Lions is after all of these weeks. No, after 6 games, I'll let you tell me. Because for me, it's pretty obvious. Because I was tweeting week 2 when we were winning, hey, Jared Goff isn't the future. And I had all these Lions fans texting me and DMing me and tweeting me going, oh, but Jared Goff's, no more, okay? Should he finish out the year? I don't even know if he should finish out the year. Because we have gifted him a good offensive roster, and he clearly can't do it. 6 points? 6 points in 9 turnovers, 15 turnovers today. It's just terrible. And here's the other thing. 2 weeks ago, we lose embarrassingly to the New England Patriots, and then Dan Campbell comes on my TV and he goes, what? What does he say? He goes, we've hit rock bottom. We've hit rock bottom. I mean, what are we talking about, Danny? Just frustrating. It's just frustrating. 4 weeks ago, after we beat Washington, we were talking about how we have the easiest schedule in the NFL, right? What was that, 4 weeks ago? And now what are we talking about? Now I'm trying to figure out how we're going to win a game. Where are we going to win a game the rest of the season? Miami? No. Green Bay? Maybe they're terrible, but they're going to figure it out against us. Chicago? No. New York Giants? No. Buffalo Bills? No. Jacksonville? Maybe. I mean, where are we going to win a game? I tweeted it out earlier. I'm like, 26% joking that I don't think Dan Campbell's ever going to win another a game as the coach of the Lions. I don't know. I really don't. I really just don't know anymore. Oh, my gosh. It just sucks because it's such a winnable game. It's in your hands. I mean, any average team would have won that game. Any average team. The Dallas Cowboys did not want to win. They did not want to win today. And we just handed it to them. We're just like, yeah, we don't want to win. Screw that. We got sold that we're going to bite kneecaps, and what we got was that we're just going to be terrible. Again. We've played 8 quarters. Our last 8 quarters, we've scored 6 points. And we've been told for the last 3 weeks this is the best offense in the NFL. Now, I get that St. Brown and Swift are out, but 6 points in 8 quarters? It's, you know what? I've moved on. I've moved on from Jared Goff. He's a great guy. I like him as a person, but I've moved on. I want Bryce Young or I want CJ Stroud. We're going to have a top 5 pick, people. We're going to have a top 5 pick, so it's going to be possible. I don't want Will Levis. I want Bryce Young or I want CJ Stroud because I think that we have finally done what I think, and also get a whole new defensive roster. Everybody knew except for Okudah and Hutchinson who decided to freaking figure it out today. But look, getting a whole new defensive roster, get one of those guys. They have an offense that they can obviously have thousands of weapons with, and we can go to the next level. Oh, my God. All right, I can't talk about it anymore. I can't talk about the Lions anymore. I can't. I got to talk about something positive. That's why I'm wearing the Red Wings. I'm wearing the Red Wings jersey. For those who are listening and not watching on YouTube, I'm wearing a Red Wings jersey because I'm trying to think of something positive. I'm trying to be positive about something in Detroit sports. And the Red Wings are 3-0-2. They've gotten points every single night, and they've earned to be the first thing that I talk about each podcast. But guess what? Lions take precedent because they're the freaking Lions in the NFL. So let's talk about the Red Wings. I'm still hot. Oh, man, am I hot. All right, calm down, Piercy. Calm down. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the negatives about the Red Wings. Tough loss against the Hawks on Friday. Still got a point, going to overtime. The Hawks are the worst team. They are. Michigan hockey could beat the Hawks this year. You gotta get those points. You gotta get those 2 points. So it was a tough loss in overtime, but at least you still got a point. Through 5 games, we've gotten a point every single game. That's awesome. And then today, the response against the Ducks after what happened with the Hawks is impressive. Very impressive. They came out with their hair on fire. And honestly, if Gibson, I don't know why I call him Gibby. I'm not good friends with him. If Gibson is not the goaltender of the Ducks, I think the Wings score 8 goals today. I mean, Gibson was standing on his head, and we still scored 5. I mean, jeez. It's pretty good. That's as good as you can ask for this year, is to go through 5 games and scoring a point every game. Next week, Tuesday night, by the way, I'm going to be doing the third period live stream for the New Jersey game. Then we go to Boston, and then we get Minnesota. Be fun. It's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a big week because I think if you can keep this streak alive through this week, I think you send the message to the rest of the NHL that, yeah, we're the young team. We're supposed to just sneak into the playoffs, but we're legit, and you can't come to the LCA is going to be difficult for you. Speaking about the LCA, Pistons, big opening night. You win on opening night. Awesome. Got me all excited. Feeling good about the Pistons. And then you lose to the Knicks and the Pacers. Okay. All right. Not the best start. I'm just going to be honest. Not the best start. You got a couple of really big statement games here. At Washington, 2 home games against Atlanta, and then you get Golden State. That's this week. That's 2. You play Atlanta twice, but that's 2 playoff teams in 4 games. And you play the Wizards. You got to beat the Wizards, and you got to get all those games are at home. A playoff team, a play-in team gets 1 maybe 2 out of those games. It's a real big prove-it point for Casey. It's a real big prove-it point for this team. They're young. They're electric. They've got a great young core. Everybody loves the Pistons this year because they're fun, because they're obviously building up to something great, and I trust Troy Weaver. This is a big week for them. This is a big statement week for the Pistons, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Because in my heart, which is not smart, they get 2 wins this week. 3. They get 3 wins this week. Screw it. No, I'm going crazy. They get 2 wins this week. But my brain's telling me they only get 1. But I'm also just want to quickly talk about, I heard a little whisper that accused the Pistons of tanking for Winabayama. I don't know why. I mean, he's going to be absolutely amazing. He's going to be an all-time great player, I think. I don't know why I like him, but I hated Chet. I like this guy a lot. Adam Silver has a real big tanking problem, and I pray that it doesn't start with the Pistons. I pray. I need a little bit of hope going into next year. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're too good to be tanking for him. All right. That was a lot. That was a lot of Detroit sports. I can't believe the freaking Lions lost today. No, I already talked about them. I already talked about the Lions. All right, I got to move on. So how do we move on? How do we move on from Detroit sports? We talk about European sports. Just a little palate cleanser. All right, so let's go into European minute in 3, 2, 1. This is your European minute. Chelsea, Manchester United played. I'm obviously a big Chelsea fan. Really felt like we should have gotten 3 points there. Tough when Casemiro has an absolute beautiful header to tie it. Manchester United, even with all of the things that's going off field with Penaldo, got to feel good about getting a point at Chelsea. Premier League's very interesting because Arsenal's up top. I talked about this on the live stream. Premier League's very interesting because Arsenal's at the very top, but it kind of feels fluky. Man City's great, but they've tripped up. Spurs, so you can't really trust that they can win. And then it feels like Chelsea and United are way too far down, and Liverpool's way too far down to win the league. It's going to be very interesting, especially with the World Cup. It's going to add a little bit of a difference. I don't know. I would take Man City right now. Then F1 was in Austin. I know it's part of the European minute, but it was in America. Who cares anymore? It's so boring. Red Bull wins the Constructors. Max wins the Drivers' Championship. It's just boring. Now we're just finishing out the year. So thanks. And that has been your European minute. I understand. Somebody's going to come up to me and be like, oh, F1 was in Austin. It shouldn't be a part of your European minute. You get the bit, right? You understand that it's a bit. All right. Anyway. Also, I saw that somebody was talking about having the Champions League final in New York City, and they're like, oh, that's a terrible idea. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Okay. That's been your European minute in 30 seconds. Okay. Moving on to the NFL. I'm recording this while the Sunday Night Football game is on. Just a couple quick thoughts, okay? Packers might be bad. I'm just saying we handled Washington. And honestly, I think Heineke might be better than Carson Wentz, even though I'm kind of a Carson Wentz guy. I'm kind of a Heineke guy. I think he's electric. I think he might be better than Wentz, but the Packers might actually be bad. I've heard some whispers from other people in the NFL and some other experts. I'm telling you, the Packers might actually be bad. And I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all these Packer fans who are friends of yours, mine, and they're like, oh, my life sucks. I'm a Packers fan. Oh, I just hate my life. Just shut up. Just shut up. You've had, 30 years of greatness? All of my life you've been great. You've had a great quarterback to just rest your little arm on. Just shut up and suck like the rest of us. For one time. Bengals are back. Joe Burrow's back. It's good to see him back. And they're in a division where they can trip up and they can still keep up. Tom Brady, you should have retired. It's clear as day. You should have retired and stayed married. Sorry, somebody has to say it. I'm sure everybody's going to say it on Monday, but you should have retired. Can't believe Mike Evans dropped that ball. Giants, they're 6-1. They may be one of the more overrated 6-1 teams I've ever seen. So I would buy stock in not them, right? I think they're doing a good job. I think Brian Dable's a good coach. I'm just not buying stock yet. I'm just not a believer. I'm not a believer. I like Saquon, but I'm not a believer. And I think the Seahawks are good. I think Pete Carroll should now be known as a really good coach. Russell Wilson stinks. Seahawks are good. And they fleeced the Broncos. Fleeced them. I think that's what's so funny about that Russell Wilson trade is that they got so much, and this is your return. That's hilarious. All right, going in the NCAA football realm. I got to talk about it. Bo Nix for Heisman. Get it trending. 5 touchdowns against UCLA. And now his path is clear as day to the Pac-12 championship. And guess what? He's got one hard game, and then in the Pac-12 championship, he's going to be a Final Four team that he's led, and he's scoring a ton of touchdowns. He's going to be in New York. He's going to be. And I'm going to make a single file line on Twitter of everybody that has to apologize to me. I want everybody to apologize. And now I have to apologize to you, DJ Ukulele. That sucked. That sucked. And also what sucked about Saturday was that I literally lost every single bet. And I'm hoping next week is better. All right, here are my top 4, though, in the NCAA right now. Tell me what yours is. I'll be interested to see what you think. Number 1, I'm extremely biased because I'm going there next week, Tennessee. I think Tennessee has the best offense since Joe Burrow. And then since then, probably never. I think they have one of the best offenses in the country, in the history. Electric offense. Number 2, I got Ohio State. They still have to prove it. They got a big game against Penn State, and I think they do prove it, and I think they win by 50 this weekend. Georgia at number 3. Just not there for me. They haven't proved it yet. Michigan at number 4. Maybe, you know what? I'm actually going to put Michigan at 3, Georgia at 4. I'm switching it up. Michigan really proved it against Penn State, and Penn State has a good team. They've got the best bad quarterback in the country. I've got Michigan at 3, Georgia at 4. Georgia has been shaky. They haven't really had their statement game yet. I think it's coming, especially with Florida and Tennessee back-to-back. But right now I have Georgia at 4. Number 5, Clemson. Through all the adversity, that defense is legit, and I think putting them at 5 makes it very clear that if one of those teams get beat in the top 4 right now, that Clemson should go in there. Number 6, again, extremely biased, but since the week 1, they have been great. Week after week after week, and they've beaten good teams by a lot, except for Washington State. I got Oregon at number 6. At number 7, I got Alabama. Every week, I love Bryce Young. I'm a Bryce Young guy. I hope he is the future Lions quarterback. But it feels like they just haven't done it. Like Mississippi State, they beat by 30. But it's still like, you need to win. You need to show me something here. You need to take it to that next level. You got to win by 50. I mean, I don't know. And now they have nobody to play against except for Ole Miss, who got exposed against LSU, and then they play LSU I think it's at LSU this year. And LSU's been weaker. I think they're going to just fall in to the SEC championship and then play Tennessee or Georgia. And it's just like, I really hope you lose and just stay away for a while. But I got them at 7 right now. I think Oregon is better than Alabama right now. That's my hot take of the day. All right, MLB playoffs. Phillies make the World Series. Bryce Young hitting that home run. Not going to lie, had a little flashback to Magliorio Ordonez. Had a little tear in my eye when he hit it. It's beautiful. This is why playoff baseball is so great. It's those kind of moments. It's raining, place is packed, fastball on the outside, and he just, beautiful. That's why baseball is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. And that home run was amazing. Amazing. It's what makes baseball the best sport. It's amazing to watch, and it's so fun to watch him run around. Him just yelling and screaming as he throws the bat, and he's punking it a little bit. Man, that's what makes baseball fun. Make it fun. And I feel like the Padres are missing one big hitter. It just felt like the whole entire series they were missing one guy. Maybe they should go in the offseason and go get a bat. I don't know who that is. I don't know what that looks like. But I feel like they're just missing one guy. Somebody who's cocky, kind of like a middle infielder, has a lot of pop. They're just missing that flair. I don't know who that is. Maybe you can tell me. New York playing the Astros as I'm talking right now, and it's 3-3. Let's go Astros. Never thought I'd say this, but come on, Astros. We need to beat the Yankees. Yankees is a bad sports town. I saw all the tweets like everybody else. I found tickets for $42, like sitting third baseline, second level, looking right at third base. And I was texting my buddies. I'm like, how is this possible? And they're like, oh, well, if you're in New York, you don't want to see your team lose. If I'm a Mets fan, I'm buying that ticket. If I'm a Tigers fan, I'm buying that ticket. A playoff baseball game for $40? Sign me up. I don't care that it's raining. We're talking, you could watch the Astros go to the World Series, or you could watch an electric New York Yankees game where they start their comeback. Like, in your mind, you're like, oh, they won that game. Maybe they can win the next 3. How do you not want to go to that? I would go in a heartbeat. And I don't even care about, I would say that I hate both these teams. For $40, how do you not go? So, you know what? I'm stamping New York as a bad sports town. That's right. We're a bad sports town. And I'll take all the hate comments. Bad sports town. All right, that's been the podcast. Let's go over some housekeeping. The final thoughts are housekeeping Pierce news. Okay. This week, very big week. Tuesday, we've got live stream, third period, Red Wings versus New Jersey. Wednesday or Thursday, sometime this week, my buddies and we decided that we're going to start writing blogs. So we're coming out with a blog, finish up the website. It's very basic. It's a very basic website. So none of us are coders. So get off our butts. But we're blogs coming out this week. And then this weekend, Thursday night, I'm flying out to Nashville and I'm going to the Tennessee-Kentucky game. Honestly, game of the week. Let's call it spade. It's going to be the game of the week. I'm super excited to check out Neyland. Never been there. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you like, subscribe. If you got to this part of the video, if you like, subscribe, and you comment Pierce, I'll give you nothing but a thank you. If you like and subscribe on YouTube and you text, if you DM me on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, I will send you a personalized thank you. If you get to this part of the podcast and you send me a screenshot of you subscribing to the podcast or that you have subscribed to the podcast, I will send you a personalized thank you. So make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what YouTubers say, but like and subscribe, send it to me, and I will send you a personalized thank you. So thank you so much. God bless. Go Detroit Sports, and we're going to figure it out, people. The reign of terror of Detroit sports is coming and coming soon.